What is going on, guys? Today we have got Thuram here with the 89 centimid team of the season. So he has had a variety of versions, to be honest. He's had an inform at an 83, and then he also had a future star as an 87. I was kind of hoping that the team of the season might have had a skill move or weak foot upgrade. Unfortunately, it isn't the case. Obviously, he was an SBC as well, and he's had +2s and a +3 everywhere. 3 on the shooting, 2 on everything else. He's 6'4" with a high, and he has got solid player as the only trait that is useful to us. Obviously, we've gone with the anchor for this card because most definitely that's probably going to be the best one that's really going to help him out. He'd end up with 91 pace, 93 defending, and 94 physical. And in terms of everything else, passing-wise looks good, dribbling-wise looks solid, and even a bit of shooting you're never going to turn your nose up at. Obviously, a lot of people really kind of saw this card as a massive powerhouse midfielder, coming in very cheap as an SBC, and most definitely, this version is going to be just as cheap. He's currently coming in at a whopping 320,000 coins at the moment. He's going to sit next to Zidane doing what Xabi Alonso did for me, so I'm hoping he can do that just as well, because he should do. There's no reason why, as a DM, this guy should absolutely run the show. So let's jump into it. See what he does. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. Let's get him on the field. Like I say, the 3 stars is the only thing that would really kill this card off. If he just had the 4-star weak foot at the very minimum, I just feel like it adds such a different element to the card. Obviously, in terms of height, strength, defending, he's going to be a natural born CDM. But unfortunately, it's only going to get him so far compared to somebody like a Matthias, like a Hullet, who's got everything else that he hasn't. Back into him here. In terms of dribbling wise, he's feeling okay. He's not necessarily the most agile player in the world. You can definitely see the static motion when kind of going for that nimble dribbling, which again, I'm not necessarily wanting him to, but it'd be interesting to see as an option if you wanted more of a box to box, if anything. Running it out for the counter. He's got a good amount of pace on him. Great acceleration on him. There it is. Can we get that pass to Dalglish? It's a great setup for Mbappe, who's going to come back across, little spin in. Can we get the skill move? No. It's got a great acceleration on him. That is absolutely stunning. It's not the pass I wanted. Wanted it straight to Mbappe, but that first touch is absolutely magic. It's great. It's nice and forceful going forward. I'd say that's a solid card to start with. Great first touch again. Ooh, pushing it far. Obviously, as a DM, you're not necessarily wanting him in them positions heavily. But if you kind of wanted more, if you wanted more of a forward attacking player, I feel like he could do it and still hold that defensive line. But I would say if you definitely want a more forward sort of player, you're gonna have to have a box to box of the same sort of nature with him as well, because he's only going to get you so far, and coming back, you don't want to outpush somebody, especially if they're your only DM. For instance, with my personal centre mid, we've got Zidane as the other one, who is predominantly the attacking sort of centre mid, whereas obviously Thuram is kind of more that sort of play, breaking up the play, getting it back for me very in the late stages of a counter attack, and Zidane's kind of just sitting there pretty. And we move on to the second game. First rage quit out of the first match. Can we find him through here? Ooh, Desai coming in. Like I say, pace-wise has really surprised me in terms of what he can do on the ball on that first touch. And again, that is going to be beautiful for them counters. Even if you just wanted to kind of push it to a winger, it's going to be great to be able to get that first touch, get the ball away from him, and really start that drive early on. So you're having your wingers really push up quite quickly. And the price of him as well is going to be what's really accessible for these sort of cards. I feel like Team of the Seasons, judging from community at the very minimum, look like they're going to be absolutely cheap as chips. And again, looking for that through ball. Solid pass. Great into the run of Pires. Can we find a ball across into Mbappe? Why has it gone to Figo there? Also, in the air, if you've got any sort of corners, I can see him just there. He's not, I don't We might be the one to get it. Big header across. He's going to be very, very good in the air. So if you haven't necessarily got somebody like a Virgil who's going to really push it forward in that corner sort of position, then he's going to be a great one for some sort of like power header mentality at the front post if you do that sort of tactic. Oh, it's a great ball. Figo across goal. What on earth is going? It's a cracking ball. He gets the interception, gets on top of it, and a lovely pass forward. And Figo needs to be burying that one. So going into the overall for him then. So in terms of price, we're looking at 394, so he's gone up a little bit. To be honest, in terms of these team of the seasons, the problem we've got with a lot of them, obviously Rodrigo, Sanchez, Coman, Jesus, they have got a proper upgrade. Even Bernardo Silva at the bottom here. In terms of Thuram, it's a double upgrade on his 87. I know, obviously, whether they take the future stars into account, for instance, that is much higher than his 77, his 83. The 87 is still much higher. So whether they disinclude this, but personally, I'd have loved to have seen a 92, 93 if they really was. And again, they have shifted it from last year. Instead of having monster upgrades from Team of the Season, we get a solid upgrade. But then Footies is where they go absolutely ham on everybody. So whether we see another one of him will be down to the question. But in terms of being an 89, it's going to be hard to link him into your team in terms of what we already have. In terms of centre mids, CDMs, the whole shebang, we've got some very high rateds already. You look at the team of the years, you look at the icons, even just an informed De Bruyne is 94 now. You go a bit further down, obviously someone like a Xavi Simons looking in really nice, but again, the top have been upgraded, but the middle section is kind of just there for the takings. Goretzka is a 92, Xabi Alonso, Benzema from Winter Wildcard is still a 92. So it's interesting to see where we go with it. The only thing that I think Thuram's got for him is that he plays way above that sort of rating. We put an anchor on him. He's a 92 in game anyway. So you've got to somewhat take that into consideration with it. Obviously, it depends on what you want. If you want a team that looks high rated or a team that plays better, then obviously what the card actually says. Same with someone like a Ben Yedder. Only 89 player of the month, but I guarantee he slaps most of the 90 icons that are in the game. That being said, this card's nice. Great acceleration on him. Great tackling. Great physical presence. Dribbling-wise was okay. Composure is very nice. Passing decent. And he's got a little bit of a shot on him. I think a perfect CDM box-to-box if you want him in your team. And more than likely, that price is going to drop by the end of the week by a landslide. So make sure you are looking round for him. Let me know your favourite team of the season so far. And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peaces. Check the video out on screen.